OBS randomly likes to change my microphone. Does it do it to you? OBS randomly changed your microphone? Rendering lag. So is there a... So, lag, is it hardware related for the rendering? Or is it... So if someone else was hosting, does it do the same thing? Or is it just on your end? Oh, I'm trying to think what could be causing all. Is it the virtual camera? Is my question. Because your preview on your end looks fine, right? So the was the lag generated from. Hello, Layden. Um, I did prepare my YouTube streams ahead of time, and Monday nights, which she torments her coworkers. How did you mess up your virtual camera? Oh, I see it on my end. No, I only see your painting palette. Yeah, I see your what you're working on right. I mean, no day is good. I mean, my Friday wasn't good either. I was like, all right, we're just 5 elements aside because I don't know what to do with them to improve them anymore. And I was like, we're just gonna chill. And I've got a bunch of green paint on my fingers. Does that like stress you out, Layden? And then I got a new mug today from Deathwish Coffee. Really happy about it. So I used the box, prop up one of my cameras so I can have just a little bit more height. I can do when I'm working, I can be a little bit more natural with how I'm standing while painting. We're waiting. I mean, I see mine, mine, and then mine smaller one more time. This one can go. Yep. Um, oh, yeah. That is not really. Now you got to go tell them you're alive. An email? Oh, did we just? Okay. We'll see if he makes it back. Oh, so So if it's the stream together that kills you, one in this has not had a bad day, or a day that you just go, really, really. Um. One second. Is that much louder? Ow, 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 ow. So I think it switched the microphone device. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yay! I'm not too loud, am I? Sounds good. Hi. Hi. Sorry, Catris. Get on the table and be a complete and utter pain. Yes. And you can see her little ear. Her head. Nose. Essentially, yes. Cat destruction. He just kind of came running through the desk. I want attention. Oh, now that I picked her up, oh, let me get on your desk. And I get on your desk and I walk through the desk and I'm like, I don't know. She can be very, very spicy. So, bone, some right bone in there. Also, I found this guy. I thought you might. Yeah, I did a monochromatic vampire a long time ago. The only thing to fear is fear itself on that one. Um, it it's actually kind of one of the funner things to do. Since you said it, I had been thinking about doing another one again. Um, Not specifically something like that. I have a couple of different things, you know. Sure. I understand. Um, it was one of the actually it was. Hmm. So it comes down to how you want to split at the end of the day. So you can, if trying to think of the word. Um, some people go, "Oh, it's such a nice idea because you don't work within the realms of promo." It's like, okay, so if you looked at the color wheel and you're like, okay, value one is black, you get to jump two values every time. So you go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. It's really just figuring out where you want to put your dart, drop in your dart, and then work your way up from there. And you have to only blend between the two colors. And it's actually one of those that's kind of fun to, like, you're not trying to blend out just stuff. Mm-hmm. 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 Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 That, that would look good. That would. I think it would. So the when I did mine, I used white and black, and I all of my just because I was like, it had literally been bugging me in the back of my head forever to do that. Because I saw it one night at a right, I didn't saw it on a convention. Person had entire diorama that with exactly what you're talking about, is doing like the chroma, and she just did black and white. So I got this cutie guy right here. That's not exactly my favorite. Um, it's from somewhere. I don't I don't exactly like it. I didn't like the construction of it. You can kind of tell with how it's built together. They tried to do like Games Workshop plastic. Nothing about it sits right with me. Um, just the way I had to build it and get it together. And it's like, oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make the smallest points possible, and we're gonna stick 2 feet on it, and you have to glue them on. So you start getting disenchanted with the figure. When you get disenchanted with the figure, and then someone says black and white miniature, I'm like, son of a biscuit. I have the perfect thing to work on that with. So he may make a return. He may not. I don't know. That is an acronym that I'm aware of. Ah, okay. Mm-hmm. 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 'I have a funny story about that. And it's just router based is how they're throttling. So Uh-huh. Because no one else is using that signal. I, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Um, so many years back, I had I like fiber so much nicer. Say what you want about Ma Bell, but her fiber internet, it's hard to beat that stuff. Um, so one day I call because it had been up and running. The first time I ever had to make. I was having an issue when I was playing Battleground tablet, or me and my partner watching anime, or all of a sudden it would stop and it would stop and it would buffer, stop and it would buffer. Oh yeah, it's happening on fiber. So I call customer. I said, "Excuse me, I'm having issues with internet." The guy's like, "What do you mean?" I am experiencing intermittent on the system. Oh really? Oh yes, sir, I am. Watching TV, and all of a sudden, X. Keep in mind, like my TV, I run through a PlayStation. Not really having a lot of Wi-Fi issues. You guys like, oh, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have da 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 da? Oh, no. Okay, well, I just did an internet speed test and pinged your modem, and speeds are higher than what we're advertising. There's nothing I can do for you. What? Not about speeds. About having an intermittent connection, sir. Sir. Um. So I'm like, okay, well, thanks for the call. I just, apparently, start fixing itself because it's probably open. But the box for the fiber bells really less than a quarter of a mile from me. Like it's down on the other side of the street. Like as I go out the subdivision, as I go to the main street on my, I have the box like. So no matter what they do, I'm never going to have latency because literally right there. Essentially, I'm right on top of it. So whenever they ping my router, the speed of what they ping is like 9 bajillion because it's right there. It's like, oh yeah, you have like you're only supposed to be getting 1 gig of upload or 1 gig of whatever. You're getting like seven. It's like, well, I'm like right next to the pipeline. Kind of hard to drink from the hose when you're standing literally right at the hose. So I got to remember that when I call them and like try to find a way to craft the response. or A, my issue is it's not necessarily that. Because I mean, it's not a speed issue. Intermittent connection. Something's broken in the modem. There's a leak line somewhere, or you've got someone that's accidentally tapping into the system that's not supposed to be. So sometimes you got to call and be a good neighbor. Like, hey guys, I want to let you know, this doesn't work right now. Yeah, they got to go through their script. Um, and, you know, you just got to run through it sometimes, and sometimes it fixes it, and it's like, no, that didn't fix it, or yes, that really did fix it. Because sometimes I was having like an intermittent, or I had fiber. I came, you know, I called my partner at the time. Is laughing hysterical, like just flat out starting to cackle in the background and cannot hold it together because the help desk kept going, oh, Mr. So and so, oh, Mr. So and so, 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 Mr. So and so. Okay, very good, Mr. So and so. Okay, Mr. So and so, Mr. So and so. And she's just losing her mind laughing at this help desk. And I'm like, fortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, sweet. I like that you're saying hello. I would like to actually, we'll try. Mm-hmm. 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 Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. That wouldn't work out so well. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Back when, I mean, so weird because sometimes the dealing with that stuff back in the because I mean it's almost like back in the day we had to learn to be our own masters of the internet, and yeah, you kind of had to learn. I mean, for the most part, everybody's like, how did you guys learn all that? Guys, number of times that we had, yeah, didn't work this time, or how, yeah, like ease of installing a game back in the olden on a computer. Did it work? That's cool. Does it not work? Why not? Okay. Now we get to spend the rest of our day literally troubleshooting all of back when I was. Yeah. I mean that was back in the 90s. Because there were certain game studios, Star Trek Armada, which RTS. Um, Sometimes it worked just fine. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes the installers worked as exactly as they're supposed to. It didn't. Or back in the day with Valve, first for Half Life and a lot of Counter Strike. I mean, most called Counter Strike Go today. So back in beta, um, just trying to get a license key for Half Life. Sometimes those things got stolen. Deal with all of that because I mean, you wanted. It's the weirdest thing sometimes. Not yeah, yeah, I know, not you, not random Joe on the internet. Um, but I mean that's partly why Steam, right? Which is platform that was bad time. There wasn't a good platform for like file management games. I mean it helps. Hmm. Oh, I am sitting. What's in with oops the depth of clothing starts to show up and the pleats of the skirt. That's what's, oh, it was one of those things. I should be, yes. Should be. No, sorry. Somehow it turned itself off. Perhaps when uh there was a I just made sure I clicked the button. Layden Rose calling me out. One of the things that someone pointed out to me, when you realize you made a big flutz, get a clean brush, wet it down really quick, and just flood that area with water. That way you can try to clean it off a little. Or you can always just paint over it again too. As Duncan Rhodes says, two thin coats. So Vince will do that a lot. He had a whole rant today when he uh, there you go, Layden. Just so you can see her. Curled up in her little hole. Mm-hmm. Oh, not worthwhile. So, oh, I know that guy. Um, he does. So, whole idea behind like paints. So, yes and no. The lady that created the Reaper MSP line painting big. And yeah. Um yeah. She she used to be a staff painter for job. She was kind of like a apparently back in the day. And what she did is you before she started painting or before they started painting, every so often she would pop open the pot and put a little flow improver in every time. And just kind of keep the paint nice and fluid and thin. So when they used it out of the pot, it worked great. Um, but then she left. Someone noticed that the quality of the painting was down again because she wasn't sneaking into the pot every so often and adding flow improver. Uh, when they created the MSP line, they wanted to try to create a competitor for Vallejo, one of the primary. Also, giving new painters a way to get in, or a way in without having to really stress about a whole lot of stuff when you start painting. Like a lot of the MSP line, you don't have. You can then have. when he goes down on that rant sometimes when you're using Games Workshop paint, it's always better to thin it just a little bit. Because I mean, thick, not fun. Like what I'm working on with her, over here on my wet palette, it's really thin. But if I went full opacity, like he says, it's just going to flood too much, and it's not going to get the transition I want. And he does good work. It's just Duncan and Zuko. Zuko also does a lot of glazing as well with his work, because he's like, it's the best secret in miniature painting. Yeah, it does. Trust me. Oh, hold on. I deleted it. Or did it get deleted from yours? Okay. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, it could have been because I got it. So we can kind of help each other mod. Yay. Uh, it would be hilarious, but that it would be hilarious. One of the what is it? Oh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I off. So they've got two teams. They have the because I think that's kind of where I think Sam Lenz at one point was a part of heavy metal. And the what because so like the box art that you get, it's usually painted by heavy metal team or heavy metal or whatever they call them. Um, so that when they do the parade ready or the battle ready, they don't they don't show the heavy metal painting process, but they still follow standard Citadel methodology, which is coat, wash, layer again. Because they want to show off no Agrax Earth shit. The old jokes about it being liquid talent in a bottle is always fun. Or give it depth like you thought it would. Yeah, because you get that staining effect. Kind of like what. Uh, yeah, because you get the turkey heads are like on the. I had to rebase coat a lot of the middle. I did it with. Yeah. So I'd put the water gobblers back in the box, process the photos, posted them. Uh, so when they would, so when I was trying to like decide to put, I'm going to sparingly wash it and try to shade in between. That makes a little bit more. What Anne from Painting Big did, she did a Patreon tutorial one day. It was one of her $2 or $5. Did a discussion on what was called pen pads, like a color theory idea. So I usually have 3 bottles of color out at all times. So I have like prime, my samurai green, and my soft green. The idea would be to have something that I could mix in between, help create the layer differently. She had pointed out in the PDF is that think of everything kind of like a zone. So like get in frame, dummy. Crease right here should be the darkest shadow. There should be your highest shadow or your highest highlight kind of deal. And just like thinking about it in just slightly different zones. And then you only use, so on the underside there, I'm mixing prime and samurai, kind of glazing a little bit on the top. And that kind of helps that. And the highest high point, that one little spot. That actually kind of resonated with me way too hard when I was learning to paint, or as I was painting. Oh, there we go. So, be forewarned. Sometimes you fuck up a lot with the pentad. I fucked up. I admit it. I went with a mushroom, and I was trying to be goofy with it, and I just missed everything with it. Like I literally just missed the boat altogether. But kind of nice having these back in places. When you do like the Lich King and you want to do like the a purple non-metallic metal, something in the purplish tones, it kind of works a little bit differently. You're thinking jump by 2 value where you want your darks and that. So that's one of the things. I go to look at my desk and I go, my painting cabinet or my display area. I still need to record that. Well, I have the video recorded. Need to finish my voiceover for it and get that video edited. Well, take that back. I have the voiceover squared away for it. I just haven't. Um, I wanted to get. I think that I've I was trying to get some filler in there for the things that I did. Like, oh, you know what would be good to have? a turntable. Put your miniatures on a turntable and have them go around. It won't cause you any heck. Go to Amazon, around, find $30, really cheap. How much I enjoy it. I try to care about investing. I guess you. But then again, I just needed to turn the miniature. If I really wanted to, I could paint the turntable that came with the airbrush station. Uh, Turn it by hand. But crop out my hand turning it. Because since I have the. Yeah. Wrong. Uh, Someone turned me on a program. Uh, that a lot. Essentially a web-based Photoshop, but it's kind of like a web-based Photoshop. Kind of just drop it in there and you lots with buttons and stuff. So I've been using that in a lot of the Instagram posts and stuff that I drop in Discord. You have to ask the question. That's not going to stop. That's just going to make it fun. Or they're just going to, find random gray spots around the house. Not gray. You said silver. Oh. I mean, it can't be any worse than me having to rebase coat the legs because I screwed up the sheer look. That's, I was like, well, it's gonna start over. Well, that happened. So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, one was um, traveling to like France. Sometimes I get like frustrated with America. I mean, it's not unfriendly or wrong, but usually at the times to try with a little bit of French, and it would go a long way for actually like try to a little bit more. Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see all of that. I've only been after this kid. That did not work out well. So I just my guilty pleasure for Fridays for surviving the week without biting any is to order a pizza and I get to enjoy one Coca Cola. All week long, I get one Coca Cola, which I need to start cutting out of my life altogether. We'll make that a next month problem. Make that after February. Yeah, it's not good for you, but you know, if I go into the convenience store, I don't buy the 12 pack. I just usually buy like the one. Like, do the one. Don't get the 12 pack. If you get the 12 pack, you're gonna drink it all like immediately. Um, so I walk in there and they got six. I'm like, okay, whatever. Buy three. Put it on the counter. Lady goes, "You want to put your phone number in there, hun, so you can get your discount?" I'm like, the face I made. Apparently, she goes, "You don't have to put your phone number in there. You can put any number in there. I don't care." So I put in the area code and then did like some random number. I said, "Someone's gonna have a good time." She started laughing uncontrollably. So I get out and I start thinking, I'm like, if my boss starts getting too sassy, I do have his cell phone number. I can just start randomly putting his number in. What's that? So I'm having that thought as I go over towards where I collect the pizza from. She's like, "Oh yeah, you definitely deserve a reward." I'm like, "It was a trying week. I will say that for sure." But it's like, "Yeah, just put any number in." I'm like, "Okay." Like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Okay." Like the second time I've had like a really good customer. This is why I believe. Mm-hmm. 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 Huh? That would solve your problem. Uh huh. Yeah. I have the Army Painter Black version because I was doing something. Can't remember what I was trying to speak. Every once in a while, I will get random hair. I will doubt my own painting abilities, so I will attempt to follow a guided paint of some kind. And I think I needed speed paint for something. Can't remember what, but I needed something. So I got it, and I cannot remember the miniature that I painted with it. Um, but it's now sitting on my shelf, and at the time, or maybe it was because speed paint medium come out, or you I saw the box. Or was it because I needed to buy something? I can, God. the way that you end up with paint sometimes, it's same way that you started off with. What you, I was telling that to Lady Rose one night. We were talking about airbrushes, or she was talking. I was processing some, timed a bunch of crap, taking everything software. We're talking about airbrushes when she was streaming. Like, yeah, airbrushes are like rabbits. Start with one, and you look around, and all of a sudden you have six, and you don't know how. Uh, yep. Uh, so, are you going to go protect us? We need to go check outside. Uh, Neighbor cat, or the one of the neighbor made like a yowling sound. Woke my cat up because I looked over and I thought it was her, like making a random like hissing sound. I'm like, the heck's going on? Like stretching and looking at me. The fuck. Well, we're about to go see what's going on. I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah. So the hat's starting to get that transition of colors going. Working with 9 million thin glazes. But last time I used, um, good try and dry brush over your more of that dust over that cerium, the CPM shade. Too. Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, you say clean water? That's what I've been rinsing my brushes in. I need to clean out my painter's puck. Uh huh. So I was struggling because sometimes I will go through again. I'll do like the because I realized I was purchasing sitting too long without me using them, kind of driving me crazy. So I wanted to try to take better care of my brushes. I'm a little weird with the larger text table hair brushes. So some stores still have them stock. Brushes that I'm using right now, or the brush right here is from Chimera or Italy. Um, They're Italians. So I was like, I need to take better care of my brushes. I'll probably end more. They're expensive. I don't I don't really turn around to be like, oh, it's a new year, I need to buy a new set of brushes. Or is the ones that bother me bad super small ones, like the little thin line ones. You're trying to do like the edge highlights, or you're trying to do like the um uh or when I'm trying to do like the linings. Yeah, I have a few brush soaps. I have a few brush soaps. I go through them. This is the Chimera olive oil one that I've been really a lot. Uh, I I'd have to find the box and tell you. So it's so it's an olive oil, and so a lot of the brushes that I've been using to keep it, oil helps the tip nice and sharp. But when it starts to dry out, what happens is it'll fray more, which is kind of a good thing. Like this guy's been holding his tip really well, and I mean I haven't touched him in days. Like I was using these guys last night, or last couple of nights ago. When I'd let it dry out, what ends up happening is the brush tip would end up looking like that. So I think there's some glycerin in there somewhere that's stressing the tip out just a little bit, or drying it out too much. Not a bad thing. But like this guy, this brush is probably 4 years old now. It doesn't really. I he gets reserved to be the mixing brush when I use my well palette, or if I want to use like a wash. Try to reserve everything else. Or if I want to use like speed paint, I'll use that. Try to keep my brush from being the because it's the super thin paints and the clay tints. Yeah, and then she'll reseal the brush tip. Yeah, yeah. I used it. Um, but the one of the things that I was watching with Vince talking about brushes one probably like actually fully watched it. He he suggested set a timer and try to rinse your brush out every 45 seconds. Uh, but like I try to mentally over and rinse your brush out because working with what ends up happening is they dry inside your brush tips or barrels, causing them. Uh, I have I have a lot of those. I have a lot of those. I was so hold on. One was Sam Lens likes that brush right there is his friend. Um, it's the Gold Teclon number 4 or whatever it is. Got that super big belly. And that's what he likes when he's painting. Because they just did, him and Vince Villa just did a paint jam together. Where Vince was painting in his style. Where Vince was kind of learning from Sam a little bit. And he's like so weird because, you know, Vince is the kind of guy that's like, you don't start super big, don't start super thick, just, you know, get the da 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 da. And Sam's first goal is, fuck it, throw the paint on the miniature. I don't care how. Um, and then work from there because that's kind of what. So when I was doing the panty or not the sheer light socks, sheer socks, I want to call them. You still had to paint like the skin tone all the way up correctly, and still highlight it and get it to go. And then in order to make it feel like it's got that transition, you end up just having to like glaze over. It's like, well, I mean, just paint it. A lot of what I did on her was I started with the base coat, had it all over the greens and the whites, which I, but now I'm looking at the hat. I zoom out just a little bit, and you start getting those transitions and those colors going on in there, and it's not like it's sitting there like stressing over every brush stroke. Uh, and that's kind of where. Hmm. So yeah, uh, Casey Town we're taught they started their podcast called Paint Bravely. Every Yeah, so that this podcast has been uh, going on forever. It's been going on for quite a while since in their videos every so often they would randomly go, well, I don't know how this is going to turn out, so we're just going to plug along and just paint bravely. Oh, by the way, we have this podcast called Paint Bravely the Podcast. It's like nice that you guys are plugging yourselves, but get it in there a little bit. They had actually how her hobby street goals up to like some ridiculous number. Kept joking about, the only way she's gonna get broken is da 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 da. And I think they stopped about it one day because she had punched the side of her window one day. She was trying to scare the. Yeah, you know how this story goes. Um, she was trying to scare off the squirrel or something. It's something she's done like a bunch. Kind of reach over, tap the window, and punch it, and all of a sudden, wham bam, you're good to go. The window broke and like lacerated her hand. They kind of stopped joking a little bit about it on the podcast. Like, we did not mean to do that. Uh, Careful what you wish for sometimes. Well, accident. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we got our hat squared away a little bit. Clean green. It doesn't look. Oh, you're fine. What you got? That is one of the things that I will probably put as word whenever it gets just the stop and let it dry conversation. 'Cause you'll start and you'll be like, oh, blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh, and then it's like, dumbass, let it dry, let it dry. Uh, so underneath my desk, hanging from my standing desk, I have my super manly hair dryer, just just in case I need it. Mm-hmm. You know, so a friend of mine, when I first started painting, bought me a Master Series airbrush back in the day. I ever living crap out of that. It probably primed all of my up until I decided to buy a Wada. Actually spend money on an airbrush. To this day, I still don't airbrush as much as I should because you can do so like the ball and chain guy that someone multi colloquially named him. Uh, it actually starts out the brush to start the tone volumes, and it's something that I should probably get at doing because it ultimately ends up helping the overall product. When working on like the larger, not like I can exactly stop you. Bro, I was going to earlier in the day and have them ready before I got done because I went and picked up a set of baby packs. That's my dinner tomorrow. Ah, with the yard. Hmm. I decided to keep the olives. I'll just pop back in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. haven't had food for like the last 45 minutes. Um, what am I painting? My end. I started working on. So that helped your situation out better. You wouldn't be able to stream everything. Collaboration of the call would be just. Well, we could share the chat, stream together, just to use. Yeah. Or because I mean that's when you're dropping. Uh, what if we just turn off on your end, or just stop the virtual camera? I guess on your end, would that keep from not dropping as quickly? I'm still here. Stream together. Your camera's on. Looking over at that. No, I'm still here. I just paused. Is that what's causing the issue? Or Mhm. So are you? I'm trying to think. So, all right. Granted, just what does it look? Okay. Because it could be a hardware issue on the virtual camera side that ate up a lot of your. Because I mean, my laptop right now running like a third of its power through the CPU, running to keep OBS and Firefox open and Chrome open. Now, OBS doesn't do because I can't monitor streaming together without using OBS. Guess what? You have to have that open, start the virtual camera piece, and I'm sharing just my live scene. I probably could switch to. I wonder, can you just switch to a smaller that all of your you have your verticals? So so um, I switched my source. You don't have to have the stream off, but as long as you have the scene act in your layout right, vertical scene box, you can switch to the vertical. Because I do vertical side of YouTube, so I swapped over the scene from my horizontal layout, which was shown to the vertical. I was wondering that need a few less resources, having to share like 4K window size of your. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, we'd have on a couple. You're about to get kicked off the table. All right. Need to chase my cat down and her paws because apparently she got something caught in one of her. Hey. Check. Lick it. Nerd. Oh, all right. So. Mm-hmm. So is it behaving a little bit better now that you see the camera, or is it just dropping frames? Give me a second and let me get it. Very much. Yes, I will call you on. Alrighty. Accept the invite and then all there. All right. We'll drop this or something. Oh, all right. I'm gonna hang up. And call in about. How's that? He might have to change the mic, possibly. Yep. You there? Okay. There we go. Now, is it starting to behave a little bit? One problem at a time. No. No. Discord's fine. Mm-hmm. OBS is picking up you as well. My end, as I see the desktop audio bumping, might be a little. Part of me wants to say the answer to that should be do red. Not purple. If you did red, you could do a Mushu and bring dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on your family. It's a so that's a Mulan reference with when Eddie Murphy played the yeah when Eddie Murphy played the dragon, and they're like, "We're gonna send you to bring her back," and he's sitting there going, "Oh no, dishonor on you, dishonor on your house, dishonor on your cow." Yes. Mm-hmm. So perfect so far. Without doing the shared stream together, what what if you started your virtual camera? Does it drop and eat? Is that what's it? No, because it's usually so you're streaming the theme. All right, so I got your. I like how somehow I turned on live captions for Twitch, live captions in Chrome, and I have not been able to turn it back off yet. I screwed up. I screwed. Uh, I, you went to win capture. You did a browser. Let me mute that. Ah, there's the browser source. Why are they not? Oh, so I have a opinion about keyboard sometimes. What I was using, I got a fancy dancy keyboard on one, and somehow the Alt and the Window key are coded backwards. Oh, I know why. Uh, so the side of the keyboard here, there's a switch. Was not in Windows mode. I'm smart. I'm smart. I forgot. So, uh huh. So, mhm. So I guess that is all right. That's not hurting you because it's not using that resource of the virtual camera. I think there's something that's yeah. I because when I switch from non usable virtual camera to this, my CPU dropped from 33 down to 20. I think it's a resource loaded issue on your end. So that's it. Because I'm still streaming YouTube and Twitch on a Discord call with you. I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want. Hold on. Speed test. Go. Well, I mean, but now it's working in that frame. So I guess would it be better if it was Discord type of call where the VTuber like the VTubers do sometimes with you, that guy right there. I'll drop Go for it. With caps lock on. If I turn it down, it might be 72. I feel so stupid. I have to switch that on the keyboard. Welcome back. So, good. Have you just do a Discord? That would. Oh, I got a new follower. Where going? I did. I was hosting the stream together. Layden Rose was talking in chat. I was hosting. So, okay. So without the. Hold on. All right. Not using any of the windows. None of the windows. So we're not going to use any of the cameras. Any of the stuff on. Nope. Don't turn. Don't turn any of it on. Just don't show the camera. Don't show the mic. Nothing. Sounds no. From there. Uh, Streaming chat that should enable. Oh yeah. That way, it just all you're doing is doing it to share the chat, um, and everybody. Yeah, that's all we would be doing. And this is one way to go around your ass to the elbow. Uh, that would be the only thing. Not now. We'll make that a tomorrow. There's painting to be. Um, like we you still have to accept it for shared chat, so let's not worry about it. That's too, yeah. It does, really does. So because what we found out late that when that already turns on stream, or turns on the virtual camera, and specifically the virtual camera, is what destroys his system, overloads too much of it, weighing him down. All right. Apparently, I turned the sound down too much, or the alert screen rework some of my alerts, see them a little better. But you know how the best laid plans go. They don't. Because so I've been reworking a lot. But I'd saved it. Button around when got all that. I reworked some. Realized what was going on. I said, oh, stream. So um, how many? I saw this and I got slightly sidetracked, so I wasn't part of. Someone had put encouragement. He struggles for paint that it doesn't. We tend to lose sight of what's fun for painting. Um, yes, we're painting little plastic men. Yes, we can paint them. Yes, we have some of the craziest looking art possible. However, it doesn't always mean it's enjoyable. Does that make sense? Um, since Ventrilla actually doesn't compete with Golden Demon anymore because he got tired of the willy nilly judges. Because I mean, it was like he made a whole video about it. I was like, when he did that, or when he posted it, he was frustrated with kind of how things rated with the judges. You almost got to going to be a lot sure that because he painted one of the most insane Imperial Knights I had ever seen, like a Slanesh. Was it a Slanesh or was it a each knight? But it was like a duality piece, and I'm like, not even breaking the top five with that. Are you freaking serious? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're like they go and they look at that stuff. I'm like, he's just like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of breaking my back for this competition that every time I turn around, character or I'm not painting the perfect Rotarian, I instantly get lost or I instantly lose because someone painted Morty and everybody like kind of deal. Or I painted also that wasn't. Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, I mean, some of it's doable. Because, I mean, Sam won a bunch, Ninjons won, Maniacs won. But again, when they won, it was a different time. Like, it wasn't a current time where they spent 100 hours on it. Kind of a time when 50 hours, 40 hours. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, I mean, it's game got up, have access to the internet, really changed a lot of how the game. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If I went and I counted up, so when you first found me, I was painting Belmont in October. Someone asked me on stream, I think it was Kip Thompson. They asked, like, how many times have you streamed, or how many hours do you put into it? I was like, well, I worked on them at least twice a week since October. So 4 months, 4 weeks in October was two. That's twice a week, 4 weeks, 8 hours. October, 8 hours in November again. That's not. Why is my math not working? 4 times 4, which is 16. 16, 32, 48, Now we're at the January, and I probably we'll say just like 4 hours, and oh well, it wasn't that much, but think about 2 hours of my life for that night, and it was fun. There were definitely some stressful, frustrating. Just to do what's up? I would start with the shield because you can always add more layers. But yeah, I remember that video from Rogue Hobby. I didn't. It's probably Black Templar because I don't remember people talking about Black Leaf. Yeah, I I could probably tell him because he's good. He's definitely one of the most us. Same time, it areas growth. Mm-hmm. Um, it goes a long way. I, like everybody hangs out because it's find like that one person that you hang out with, and it really does change the changes the interaction a lot. Some people are okay with it. Don't really want to. I feel you. I feel you. Like I 100% understand. Thin it down with water and then go. I I'm a big fan of water first. Thin it out that way. I do use. Now I take that back. I do have a big bottle of newish Monument hobbies that I bought. It works really well to help create a glazed pool. Just just because I'm trying to work so thin, I don't want to break the paint. But almost with the contrast, it's at a point of breaking anyway. I think that sometimes, or when you start with color first, see if that gives. If it doesn't, switch into because you can always add more layers. You you can get the you can add another layer with contrast. What we were talking about. So yeah, hmm? Gotta start yeah, drag it out. um, holy cow, that yachts came out quick. Hold on 1 second, I'm sorry. Um, oh, so what I was laughing at, double check from um guy on a call today. Kind of only half listened conversation. We're all having our cameras on. Oh, anyway, ooh, but ooh, there's the who's the guy? MS Paints. Uh, he was interesting because I think best paint at M. Someone asked him to like paint box art, and he's like, "Dude, this is box art. we don't do box art here. You're gonna have to go somewhere else." Because he was painting a Curse City model or something up. I can't remember. I thought kind of funny. Why are you getting in the trash can and pulling the? Why are you pulling dirty rag out of the can? What do you mean? No, I do not like it when you tip over the can. So for whatever reason, all cans and all yeah, and I mean that's kind of what I want to be doing. Paintings, I want to stare at. I mean, the exception of it being the IDW out of that game, the only find paint colors that I want to use. Everybody else is going to be kind of um, whatever. Because I mean, I was collecting miniatures right when the I had a bad habit of buying them. And I looked around one day and I said, "Oh shit, I need to stop." I was joking with zombie sashimi. I said, "I'm not buying anything new." I'm like, "Well, that's the bold statement of us all. We're not trying to buy any more, but we tend to collect more." I showed him a photo of my wall. He's like, "I'm a little jealous." I'm like, "Yeah, I wouldn't be. A lot on that wall that needs to be painted." It's all in fun and it's all in love. Because I mean, mhm, yep. I was looking. Yeah, always a choice to buy that. Always a choice. I've tried. My parents used to drive me. I never did. 'Cause it never worked out for me all that well. Hmm. I would too. Um, you can always paint the trim as gold. Yeah, you learn. I'm seeing it. I look extreme. Stick up, stretch. It is almost 10 o'clock here. My cat starting to get annoyed. She hasn't had her treats yet, and she's like, "Human, it is that treat time. I've had my nap, and I let you chill. Um, I have not." Eventually, yeah, like, "Hey, it's treat time." I'm like, I don't know about all that. Just mhm. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I'm actually. Mhm. I mean, most people can relate to that with bugs. Hmm, I agree. See? A happy accident. But hmm, now you found something. Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I did not. I have fun, but I'm starting to yawn too much, and my motor skills. So I will see you tomorrow. I will try to be on a little bit earlier so we can get everything squared away with Layden Rose, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So it'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard for me, 3 o'clock for her. So we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right. Thank you for hanging out, Matt, already, and hope your day gets better. All right. Bye.